In the previous video we showed how a chart could be based on a static data series. So you can see here we had our pie chart over there, and then when we go look at the data series that this chart was based on, we can see that series 1 is a static series, and if we edit the series we see that the series is just a CRLF delimited list of data points, and since this series had sub-series, there were pipes to delimit each sub-series. In this video we're going to demonstrate how we were able to build this chart control here, where we're displaying data from the Northwind's database, and in this case the chart series is based on a custom type, which means that an XBasic function is called in order to compute the series values. But before diving into this chart over here, we're going to just do a quick tutorial on using the XBasic series type. So let's go back to the web control panel and create a new empty dialog, and go over to controls, and then choose a chart, and we'll just call this again say chart number 1, and then go now back to our properties and define a data series which we'll call series 1 again, and then we'll edit our series and we'll choose custom, and then we'll go ahead now and specify the name of the XBasic function that we're going to call. So we'll just say here get data, and we'll say that this custom XBasic function is going to return a series with say 2 sub-series, and I'll just type in say sales and region, and then we can specify the name of a JavaScript function that should be called in order to compute the series, in order to provide information to the XBasic function. But in this case we don't need to do that, because this would only apply if this chart was being refreshed on an Ajax callback, so we can just ignore that for the time being. So let's click this now, and then go ahead and define the XBasic function called get data. So go there now, go there, click OK, and now go and define an XBasic function called get data. So we'll go here and we'll say function get data as C, and then E as P, end function, and get data equals percent text percent text percent. So this XBasic function needs to return a CRLF delimited list of data, and we specified that this XBasic series type, this custom series type, has 2 sub-series, one called sales and one called region. So let's go ahead now and fill in the data that this XBasic function will return. So you can see I've filled in the data that this function is going to return, and if I go ahead now and just say put in a debug 1, so we can actually I won't do that right now because it'll just pop up too many times. So let's go now back to our controls and then define our chart, and now the data for this chart is going to be series 1, and it's going to be the sales value, and then the category is going to be region, and then we're going to go here and choose our label over there. So now let's go ahead and click OK, and save this, and we'll just call it say simple custom series. And now let's go and put a debug 1 in our XBasic function. So now when we go ahead now and render the chart, you can see the XBasic function gets called, and it returns this set of data over there, and now there's my chart displayed over there. So by using an XBasic function, we can of course have a great deal of control over the data that's in the data series. So if I were to go now there and change that, for example, to 17, and then go to working preview, I can see there's my data over there, and go there and add in say 23, and then put in north, and then go to working preview. You can see we've added another line. So what we've shown here